This is a big deal. The President of the United States is President of the United States for his 4 full years of term. The fact that he might be unelected, he might be a lame duck after the first week of November, in no way diminishes his ability to constitutionally govern until the peaceful transition of power the following January. I'm Dr. Duke, and this is Constitution Corner. Well, we have a beautiful, you couldn't ask for a clearer, I would imagine, incidents of why the Constitution is such a critical, vital, living document. And when I say living, I don't mean open to endless reinterpretation by progressive jurists. I mean it's a incredibly relevant and meaningful thing the way it was written all those years ago by the Founding Fathers. It really does account for everything. And we have now the situation with the death of Ruth Bader Ginsburg. And let me say from the beginning, to all the Democrats out there, the progressives who are whining about how somehow, I keep hearing how unconstitutional, how wrong, how precedent-breaking it would be for Donald Trump to go ahead and nominate and try to get confirmed a candidate to the Supreme Court with only about 40 days left. I don't understand this. The people who, funny to me, the progressives who most ignore the Constitution over the years, the ones who have the least respect for it, the ones who would like to see it rewritten, if not torn up and started over, they're the ones now making incredibly dubious constitutional arguments that aren't really arguments about why this shouldn't happen. The reality is that Ruth Bader Ginsburg mischaracterized. She made a big political gamble, and she blew it. She said back in the waning years of the Obama administration, 2015, 2016, many had urged her to go ahead and retire now. She had already been well into her 80s in terms of her age. She already had been diagnosed for a number of years of having had cancer. So rather than step down, she was so absolutely sure that Hillary Clinton was going to win and that she would be able to have a female president replace her that she stuck it out. And that, as we know, is history. It came back to bite her in the butt hard. The fact is that Hillary Clinton didn't win the election. The fact is that Ruth Bader Ginsburg passed away without being able to outlast the first 4 years of Trump. Now, constitutionally speaking, this is a big deal. The President of the United States is President of the United States for his 4 full years of term. The fact that he might be unelected, he might be a lame duck after the first week of November, in no way diminishes his ability to constitutionally govern until the peaceful transition of power the following January. This is reality. The other thing is that you stop and think about the constitutional values that are at stake here. We have all these Democrats from 2 and 4 years ago, 2 especially with the Merrick Garland situation, who are insisting that the American people constitutionally have a constitutional right to a certain number of justices, in this case 9 after it was expanded under the administration of FDR. The American people, Democrats, people like Joe Biden said, the American people have a constitutional right to have 9 justices on the job administering justice. 8 herself, Ruth Bader Ginsburg herself, said correctly that 8 is a very bad number from a constitutional perspective. It's not enough to break a tie when all justices are involved. You need 9. You can't have 8. And so one of the interesting things about why the Constitution matters is take the modern Democrat Party. They are flipping like a flag, right? The wind, whichever way the wind blows constitutionally, that's the side that they take briefly. And so one of the things I love about the Constitution is how it's cautious and foundationally built and long-standing and demonstrated stability, the stability that it brings to almost every situation of American life. This is a classic example. Despite all the phony constitutional calls from Democrats, despite all of the wavering, the flip-flopping from just 2 years ago, 4 years ago, the Constitution is very clear. Mitch McConnell is very clear on the Constitution. Donald Trump has his Constitution correctly. The Republican senators who have mentioned that they are going to vote in an honest vote for the Republican, the Donald Trump nominee, they've got it constitutionally correct. The mainstream media, the academics who run, God help us, history programs, history professors, law professors who are just completely curdling up with rage, they're the ones who've got it wrong. And the fact that they're so vocal about it tells you something. Foundations may be shaken. political tempest may come and go. National crisis may arise and be averted. But the thing about the Constitution is that if that's your grounding, if that's your bellwether, if that is your headstone, your anchor stone, then the entire edifice is going to be sound. And as much as I hate to say it, if the shoe was on the other foot and we had a Democrat president and you had the same situation, you and I both know that the Democrats would absolutely go ahead and fill this seat, and they would rub the Constitution all in our faces. And as good constitutionalists, we'd have to say, we don't like you, we don't like what you're doing, but the Constitution is right. You Democrats would technically have the right to do it. And so always look to that when you're looking at constitutional crisis, right? Forget the hooping and the hollering, forget all the twisted arguments. It's a simple document. 4,000 words or so. It's very easy to read the Constitution, the Declaration of Independence, and know exactly where you stand. It will never set you wrong. It sets our country on the right path, and in short order, by the grace of God and the Constitution, we will have a new conservative justice on the Supreme Court. This has been Liberty News Hour. As always, you can go to thenewamerican.com and jbs.org for more information on these topics, as well as for more shows.